Mic check, mic check. Yes, back with another video. You know, Volothan modulus tautology on this beautiful Sunday. I have 1222. The same day, whatever the date is. What is today's date? I keep forgetting the date. Because, every day is a beautiful day. My calendar here says 8/17. So it is August the 17th at 12:22. I dropped a video this morning. I had fun making that video early this morning. And I'm planning to make at least one more video. I'm hoping that I can get a short video in between there, because the goal is to get to 1,000 YouTube videos, by the end of the year. But that's not going to happen. I'm closing in on 400. I don't have the numbers in front of me right now. Only one thing at a time. On my screen, Star Wars: Knight of the Old Republic. Whenever I see this game, I have to give a shout out to D-Real. D-Real is my, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 brothers, 5, 6 in heaven. Well, more than 6 in heaven. 2 in heaven. But, Byron and Ryan is, they my brothers, They grew up next door to me to my left. If I was to come out my front door, Byron Ronald, and D-Real is their youngest. And D-Real has 2 or 3 or how many babies D-Real got now. But he's been hitting like on my Facebook page and let me know that he's still doing it. We still surviving. Yo, as soon as, I get these numbers right, I'm flying out there because I got to see Wabi too. So, last I heard he was out in Arizona, him, Wabi, and a couple other people that I know. And, I'm going out there to see what would be, and D-Rail, he's my brother, so, he's, would be I would be the uncle, right? But with Wabi, it's a brother, he's my brother, but I treat him like he's my son. So that's actually, I consider that my granddaughter, and that's just the way it is. I'm a 71 baby. I ain't no new school. I ain't no Gen Y or millennial or whatever. What do they call it now? Zombies, Gen Zs or whatever. And I'm not hating the young. I'm loving what y'all doing. The way y'all, got behind Kendrick for the Super Bowl and not like us and still practicing and preaching hip hop the way it's meant to be preached and taught to the world is dope. It's just that now we under strict rules. And don't think it's Trump just came out. No, Biden set it up this way. That's the part that I have to come on here. No. These are still Biden rules. Trump is just, hey, we need to clean up the streets, and so they're responding. All the Democrats jumped over to the Republican side. The evil people, they all jumped to the Republican side, and now they're implementing it. So that's why you're seeing a lot of attacks still on foundational Black Americans. It's like, why is it we still being attacked? Like, how is he allowed to be, attacking us the way that he is? It's the people that you voted for that's attacking you. You know what I mean? The Democrats, and I'm talking them to the 92%. What I'm going to share today, because I've been trying to implement more social studies into my, let me go load game, and just to show you that I could, play the game, and I guess auto save, whatever, it don't matter. Like I was saying, when 92%, this is they call themselves the 92%, and when y'all went out there and voted hard, Black women, right? 92% of Black women, allegedly voted for Biden, well, Kamala, right? So when y'all did that, it's, and then lost, it's, now they're attacking us for vote. No, that's not what's happening. He's cleaning out all of the corruption that, happened when Biden did the same thing in 2020, 2021. Well, 2020 was the election year. 2021, Biden already had in place, because it is a lot of Democrat, I'm just using that to light term, left, leftist, all that blue, right? The blue people, um, they're conservatives too, but they're part of a globalist neocon, right? That's what it actually is. I mean, this is a beautiful game right here. I do want to get into it more. Notice I can just walk, you know what I mean, and then Boule will start following. But this is a traditional role-playing game, and this is one that D-Rail used to play. My brother Daryl, he used to play this all the time. And I don't know what system. Daryl, what system did you play that on? You hit it in the comment section. I think you was on a Dreamcast. I'm gonna check and see what game, because I remember you playing this a lot, and I was like, all right, that's dope. I don't know. I don't remember what system you was playing it on. This is on my Switch OLED. So it is a little bit cleaner version of it, and it's been optimized or whatever. And I'm sure there's other versions of it that's even cleaner than this. But it's a beautiful game, and the whole premise is to become a Jedi, or you could go to the dark side and become evil, quote unquote evil, because then that's the question of everybody's mind is the Sith versus the Jedi. Good versus evil. Is it possible to be a Sith or dark light and still be good? You know what I mean? Is there such a thing as chaotic good or chaotic evil, and et cetera, et cetera? Like, how do you combine the different light and dark and Sith and Jedi ideologies as far as let's say ethics, morality, virtues, and principles that you're pledging to live by, to either be good or evil when it comes to freedom, justice, and equality. It's something as simple as that. Right now we're seeing a lot of injustice going on, especially towards foundational black Americans. Is it foundational white Americans that's doing it? Yes, because calling yourself a foundational white American as a colonizer is kind of hypocritical. I'm just keeping it 100. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. So I'm gonna share a little bit of Lady Boule. And who is Lady Boule? Lady Boule she's a Democrat, and she's for the 92%, and she's going to give a little talk about it. And what is the Boule? The Boule is the 9 black fraternities and sororities. I had to write the list down. I might mispronounce them because I kind of forget my Greek alphabet like that. You got the Alpha. The Alpha is basically the Alpha. What is this? Alpha Psi Alpha? No, let me see. AKA is Alpha Kappa Alpha. That's the ladies. It's a little dark in here. Kappa Alpha Psi. That's the Kappas. Omega. Is that Omega Psi? Is that Phi? I guess that Alpha Phi Alpha, or Alpha Psi Alpha, Alpha Phi. The 0 with the line through it. I gotta look that up again. My apologies. I used to know this stuff because I'm a mathematician. I was supposed to know the Greek alphabet, but it is a theta, I think. Delta Sigma Theta. That's the theta. Delta Sigma Theta. The one with the line coming vertically down. I kind of forget. I think it's a Psi. Alpha Psi or Phi or something like that. Phi Beta Sigma, Zeta Sigma or Zeta Phi Beta. I'm really not sure if that's a Phi. I gotta look that up now. Sigma, I think that's a rho. Is that a Psi? Sigma Rho Psi, and the last one is Iota Phi Theta. Iota Phi Theta, I think that is. Or Iota Psi Theta. No, it's Phi. Why can't I remember that? I gotta look that up. I'll look it up and see if I can look it up during the TAF and let y'all know and correct myself. My apologies to my brothers. But if y'all want a good movie that breaks down the Divine Nine, you have to check out Spike Lee's what is his movie? School Days. That's the movie that breaks down who the Divine Nine is. They even had a fictional 10th black fraternity. That's the one, Gamma Phi Gamma or something like that. But that's not who the main character. He was actually, and that's I don't have notes in front of me, but the main character was against the Devine, which would have been 10. And at the end of the movie, he was screaming, "Wake up!" and everything. Um, we can talk more about that movie. I have to do a little more studying again because I mean it's been a while since I watched it, but it's a real good movie. But his five buddies or so, Kadeem Harrison was I see Kadeem Harrison jump right into my head. It was five of them. Even Radio Raheem was a part of his crew. It was five of them, and they were like the non-frat or whatever. They was the anti-frat, the anti fraternity, and it's a very very educational movie. Um, our my thing. I'll talk a little bit more about it after I share this video from Miss Boule. Um, like, subscribe, share. I'm gonna put her information in the link. I did record the whole video, so it is about 7 minutes. There's a little hiccup in the middle there because they want to promote their commercials. I'll try to cut it out as much as I can, but just people she's saying, her breakdown of what's going on with her social studies, and then I'll be back to just explain my little 2 cents and enjoy the rest of the day. So I'll be back right after this short commercial break, and I hope y'all enjoy this content. Volathan Modulus, Tautology. We'll be right back.
So I saw an article today, and it said that over 300,000 black women have left the workforce over the last 3 months. And that sounded absolutely insane to me. If it doesn't sound crazy to you, what really made it crazier was when you look into the article. It said that we're not leaving by choice, right? We're getting laid off, pushed out, or having to navigate through crazy trade-offs. Basically, they're twisting our arms. So I have a question for all the women that look like me, all the black women that see this. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Because stuff is crazy. I feel like we honestly got to have each other's backs. I mean, I know how I'm feeling about this as someone who's been affected by unemployment over the last year, and I think they're calling it long-term employment now. That's the official term. You go through many emotions, you have many thoughts. But my thing is, we go through so much. This is just one little piece out of all the things that as black women we have had to go through within not only the last year, but just life in general, right? And it's crazy that this number is just growing. So I wanted to get on here and just see how y'all are doing. Just a check-in, see how y'all are doing, see how we can help each other if there's any way. And yeah, send my blessings.
Hello, this is Lady Boule, and I hope your day is going well. Thank you for your support. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. Now, this 300,000 job loss of black women has been out there for a while, and I've been listening to different creators speak on it, and one or two of these black male podcasters, these retired red pill manosphere types, have gloated over it. That 300,000 black women lost their jobs, as if that was some kind of punishment for black women for being black women. But I believe that there is a correlation between the 92% and the 300,000 job loss. Now, we know in this present administration, the chief executive officer of this administration is a vindictive person. And it has been highly publicized that 92% of black American women voted for Kamala Harris. And so I think that has something to do with it. It is also the case that way back as early as the 1980s, people like Republicans like Newt Gingrich realized that up in the Washington, D.C. area, Prince George's County is one of the most affluent black areas in the country, and many of them work for the federal government. So that's always been a target. So 300,000 black women losing their jobs is startling, it's shocking. But I don't know that it should be surprising given the current environment that we live in. Well, this administration is going to run its course. I believe that black women are resilient and black women are resourceful. And this might be an opportunity to open a business or do something new or be retrained to do something. It is an inconvenience in your life when something like this happens. It is a blow to the Black American community and the Black American family when 300,000 people are intentionally out of work. But the more creative we are in this environment, the better off we will be. There are still services that people need.
Doesn't that cloud look like a puffin?
Policyholders first, not mascots.
And I just think you really have to be creative. We have to continue to lift each other up. And we would hope that the black church would be of some help. But, experience has shown us that the black church, for the most part, just operates as the black church. I'm not sure how effective the black church is in ministering to people and of being of help in situations like this. But we are going to have to start pooling our money together and building networks so we can be more self sustaining in this environment. Here is another perspective on what is going on, and it speaks to why there is this attack on black women.
Black women are under attack for being the most educated demographic in the country. They are being punished and penalized for prioritizing their education and using that education to pull themselves out of poverty, get themselves into careers where they are thriving and can take care of themselves without struggle. It's no coincidence that in the recent article, over 300,000 black women have been laid off since the current administration got into office, me being one of them. This is not the time to be down on yourself as a black woman for prioritizing your education. And I think now more than ever, as a response to that, black women should get even more educated. So if you're in between jobs and you're in that layoff space like I am, look into getting certification. So if you're not interested in getting another degree at the moment, look out there and see what certifications may interest you so that you're able to pivot and make yourself more marketable. You got HVAC, you got project management, you got CNA, EKG, phlebotomy, pharmacy tech, all different types of IT certifications. You could become a substitute teacher, but look into the certifications that might be of interest to you so that you can couple those with your current certifications and degrees that you have and see what you can find in terms of the job market, because it's rough out there. And so you want to make sure that you are able to find something in the interim until you get yourself, back on your feet or back in the career that you dreamed of being in and want to be in.
So 300,000 black women have lost their jobs since January, compared to 212,000 white women that have lost their jobs. So we know that there are more white women in the country than black women. So the impact was greater for black women. But I agree with the lady in the video. This is not the time to give up. This is not the time to stop and say, I'm not going back to school. I'm not going to be trained. I'm just going to give up. This is not the time to do this. This is the time to say, I am not going to let them defeat me, because that seems to be their purpose. I'm going to get my skills sharp. I'm going to write the best resume. I'm going to get out there and I'm going to get another job, even if I have to create it myself. Because they're not going to win. We have not come this far to turn around. And we came this far by faith, and we will go on by faith. Let me know what you think about the video. Thank you for watching and have a great day.
So I'm I'm on the 19-minute mark. I can go Y'all know I can go into deep detail of what you just heard, and you know, my point. All right, let's deal with one point. All right, let me let me slow it down a little bit. One the numbers that she mentioned. She said just round about 300,000 black women lost their jobs. Okay, she equated it and related it to 200,000 white women, and since there are more white women population, like it's clearly an attack on black women. Here's where her statistic is flawed, because how many black men lost their jobs in 2021 when Biden first initially did this? And that created a lot of jobs for black women, right? See, the concept of DEI is fire the men, hire the women. That's what it initially was under George Bush, right? Then Obama came in, and he made it, keep demoting the black and white American men and promoting the immigrants. So under Obama, immigrants leapfrogged black men tremendously. Now we're supposed to be the fatherhood of God and brotherhood of man. Like we're supposed to be the leaders of the black church. That's an interesting robot that just walked by, right? Let me see if I can follow him real quick just to show you. It's real time. It's real time. See, it's me versus C3PO. All right, and I'm not trying to change the subject or anything like that. I'm trying to make sure y'all understand what I'm talking about. So when Obama did that his first term, when his second term came and he made it about gay marriage, right? He made it about LGBTQIA plus DEI, PDF, like that was the beginning of DEI. It completely destroyed the concept of black father, black mother, black son, black daughter as being the focal point of the family. It encouraged more single mother homes. Right? Now the single mother she can find herself a wife. Right? She didn't need a man anymore. And she replaced the man with a wife. Right? So now you got two wives, right? And I mean, so now we're looking at close to, over 80% of these kids growing up in single parent homes. Yes, some of them a lot of them technically is a two-parent home, but it's two mothers, right? And then that's not even talk about the two men, like that that is what it is. Because my question is in a traditional family, who's the head of the house? It's the father, right? When you got two men, and it's like, all right, y'all, all right, who's the head of the house? And oh God, and then you're dealing with things you really don't want to talk about around children, right? And yet they want to be able the power to adopt a lot of, So and then we see the hypocrisy in it when there's no more Boy Scouts. It's scouting, and most of the scouting is now all women. So now it's all right. We want to get back to boys. Let's come together. Let's play a little basketball. Let's play a little baseball. Let's play a little football without, having to force feed someone that really can't, that can on a little league level or a young kids level. Yes, a girl can play basketball with the boys, especially if it's just a little quick pickup. That's cute. But when we talking about the NBA, yeah, that's not gonna happen. Like, right? But we allow women to be the refs. Okay, cool. But they have to show a certain strength, fortitude to be around men and not be pushed around and make bad calls, right or wrong, especially in football. She can't be submissive to, the quarterback or nothing like that. That gives the team an unfair advantage. Am I starting to make sense to some of y'all? I know I am to the men. But the women get a little, that's doing these things and all caught up in the 92% of the Divine Nine. I mean, when I was working with all these jobs this past year, most of these dudes like that, the picture that I shared was 92% women, 17% men are responsible for what's going on right now. I'm a part of that 17% of men that's willing to, hey, I claim responsibility. Trump doing it? All right, Trump, this is what I need you to do next. I need you to cut the check. Right? That's my stance on it. I need a check. Boom, now I can fix everything that Biden messed up. Right? I can't do it without a check. Right? I'm sharing the documentation of everything that he messed up, that while we're in the position that today where you're seeing 300,000 black women get, I feel sorry for y'all, but you're going to find a job ASAP. It's going to be a lot harder for myself because I was about to be a district manager, right? I was about to be, district, move up in the higher echelons of management. Now I got to start all over again, and they want to put me as the janitor. Like, nah, dude, I ain't going to try to be the janitor. Well, you got no choice, right? And then I got to answer to and leapfrog white women, black women, DEI, immigrants, in order to get back to where I was one check away from, right? It was like, all right, Trump said a platinum plan. All right, that's a check. Once you give me that check, I'm about to, all these years of meritocracy that I got from working for this company, right? But Biden and Obama said, flush it down the toilet. All those years of you working there, flush down the toilet. You ain't even getting a bonus check for what you did, right? All right, cool. All I can do was file my grievances, and now I'm trying to, hey, let me find my lawyer, right? Because now we're in such a state of lawfare. You need a good lawyer. But if all the black lawyers is online making videos like me, and it's not a knock toward Dennis, but Dennis he's a good dude, right? But he's an accident claim lawyer, right? I need several different types of lawyers, right? And they done defragmented them so much. That was a good word. I like because that deals with computers too, right? They done defragmented the law so much that you need a lawyer for this, you need a lawyer for that, you need that kind of lawyer, you need this kind of lawyer, you got to go before this kind of judge or that kind of judge or this kind of judge or that kind of, right? So that it's kind of, and that's the after effect of what Biden did. Trump and them are sitting back observing what's going on. So keep voicing your opinion. Keep saying, like, shout out to Miss Boule, but listen, right? You did point to your enemy, the white woman, right? Understand, your fight with her is having an extreme effect on the black men like myself, like, because I was working with the 17% that voted or sat at home or didn't give a bleep if Kamala Harris won, right? That's what I represent. No, she can't win, right? We were working underneath all of these immigrants, these woke folk. Woke folk, I'm talking about the gays, right? The LGBTQ. They the woke folk. These woke folk. Just people that suffer from all kinds of mental health issues. We were working underneath them as a union, and whenever we tried to connect, like me using my leadership to, hey, I need y'all, like, and I'm talking about these dudes ain't playing, like, you know what I mean? They respected me though. That's why it was like, yo, big Mr. C, is Trump going to cut that check? It's like, no, he's not going to cut that check, but at least we'll be able to have opportunity to build for ourselves. It's just that y'all can't be doing what y'all been doing. You know what I mean? Because they even watching me. They know I'm innocent. Yeah, they know that I shouldn't be, right? But I'm kind of like, yo, just keep your nose clean, right? As a reference or whatever to whatever, right? And patience, right? But now they agitating the same people to go into the stores late at night with like a bunch of ninjas and seek, havoc and stuff, and you're going to get locked up, right? You can't street fight anymore. Like, that's why I shared the street fighter. You can't fight in the streets anymore. We have to take it into the gym. Let's go in the gym. Yo, you got beef with me because I hollered at your girl? All right, no problem. Let's take it to the ring. And we just go in, oh, good. Yo, cool. And hug each other and move on. Like, you can have it, right? Because that's usually how it goes, right? All the street fights that I've seen throughout my life is pop, man, I'm not going to, right? I'm not going to die over this bird or John or whatever quote unquote derogatory word that we're saying that misogynistic, when y'all know the truth is they gave women power to practice misandry, and it's been going on for over 60 years, too damn long, and it's really, and we're seeing the effects of that. That's why the brothers they're going into these stores. They ain't even trying to steal. They just want to smash and break everything because they're not being heard when it comes to, hey, when am I going to be able to get my freedom, justice, and equality? And, you know what I mean? I'm praying for my brothers. Stop doing that, right? Just chill, relax, try to, go keep doing those little gig jobs that we doing. You know what I mean? The day when we can finally come together and stop being desegregated, right? Because that's what they're doing. They're desegregating the fatherhood of God and the brotherhood of man. That's why Miss Boule had a thing with the black church, because that's the hierarchy of the black church, is the pastor has to be the man. This has been another genius moment from Photothamp Modulus Tautology. I love God. I respect the Lord, and I seek wisdom. Continue to enjoy this Sabbath day. It's all about fatherhood, mother. Live life. That means do not kill. Give, receive. That means do not steal. I skipped one, didn't I? Befriend, marry. Yes, fellas. It's okay to befriend the ladies, and hopefully one day y'all can get married, right? All that marrying each other, men, no, that's whack, yo. That ain't hip hop. Who told you that, right? What's the other one? Do not lie. That's the commandment number 9. But we say true, false. Be true. Stop being false. And then we'll reach the 10th commandment: compassion, peace, and happiness. That's right. I'm not jealous of you. You are my brother too, right? One God, our Father, art of time, hip-hop, life, love, one. That's God is love, hip-hop is life, time is holy. Money ain't nothing more than that fourth dimensional illusion that really doesn't exist. If you flash me with money again, the Bane might come out, right? The Joker might come out. What does this mean to me, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, you think that makes you control me, right? That's the truth. Because whether or not you want to explain it as macro or microeconomics, it's all about the art of making the most out of hip hop, and that's life. 1, God is understood. Respect, yo. Peace.